to an opening. He's on the mark. Brown Jr. grabs the rebound, and Luke Jr. came off second best there, got one to the rib cage.
Now, more the wrist, more the hyperextension of the wrist, and that's not great for a shooter.
2 torn ligaments, but has avoided surgery. He could miss between 8 to 12 weeks, but the Duke is hoping to make an earlier return.
So yeah, I haven't really publicly, I guess, addressed what exactly happened, but I tore my UCL ligament and the flexor mass, which is the secondary muscle stabilizer in my elbow, along with some bone bruising. A bit of an unfortunate injury, but you know, you can't really do much now at this point but take the next step, which is recovery and trying to come back as healthy as possible, as smooth as possible, and in fact better than before. So we played a few games before Adelaide, and we were in a pretty good spot. We had won the last 2 of 3 games, 2 on the road. But that's the season. You're gonna have good stretches, tough stretches, where we were up 20 and ended up losing the game. Obviously talking about not letting it affect the next game and the game after that. We dropped the Sydney game. I feel we honestly did let the game before bleed into that game, but you know, we go to Brisbane on the road, get a great win, played really well. We played Southeast at home, and I would say for 75, almost 85% of the game, we played very, very well, and they made some extremely tough shots down the stretch. But coming out of that game, I felt like, for me, it was my best personal game, which continues to give me confidence in finding ways to truly make a positive impact on this team. And heading into Tasmania, we knew it was going to be a tough environment on the road. You know, their venue's always a tough venue to go in and play at, but we got to win there. We felt like we were, you know, on the right track and heading in the right direction. So yeah, going into Adelaide, we dropped the last game versus them in the last couple of seconds, and first time we played them this year in Adelaide, we went there and got a pretty good win. So for us, yeah, we had lost the last game. Yes, they're playing well, but for us, we know that we can compete with any team in this league. We can beat any team in this league. So going in there, we really went in with a chip on our shoulder. 1, because of how we lost the last game, but 2, because we just needed to win. We desperately needed a win on the road. I did my normal routine, pregame wise, shooting, and once the ball, you know, was thrown up and we had the tip, I think we were ready to go. We were locked in. You know, I remember we had the play where I came off the screen, I hit Joe, and he goes in and dunks the ball on their big, and you know, that just turned me up. I was crazy. I was like, all right, like we're here. And I mean, not even 2 minutes later, I would say, everything just kind of changed within a split second. So I honestly don't remember who shot the ball, but the shot was put up. I went to crash because that's what we teach, you know, when the shot goes up, you want to crash, and on the top side, try to get a hand on it, stop there, transition the other way. I crashed to get the rebound, try to get a hand on it, get a piece, but the defender ends up coming up with the rebound and my arm, pulls the rebound down, and yeah.
Brown Jr. grabs the rebound, and Luke Jr. came off second best there.
Once it happened, we went back down on defense. I believe they might have scored or whatever it was. Coming back on offense, I think I either tried to make a pass or catch a pass.
Luke Jr. signaling to the bench, he wants to come out here.
And that was when I knew that something was wrong. It was probably a little more than a stinger. So I signaled to my coach to get me a sub. on the sideline, I tried to do what I can. Told the trainer, you know, do whatever you can, like tape me up, and no matter how much is taped up, like I want to play, I want to finish this game. But after taping and trying to test it out on the sideline, it was a no-go. And yeah, pretty tough. Pretty tough to deal with and sit there and watch the team, you know, have to try to continue to compete and ultimately win this game. You know, I just tried to be the best teammate I can. I didn't want to sit in the locker room. I wanted to be there on the bench, just supporting, and anything I see, try to let my voice be heard. But in my mind, I was definitely frustrated because I kind of knew that it was something more serious. So. Last 8 years of my playing career, I only had one other injury that has had me out for a bit of time. So I would say I've had a pretty healthy career, and in times like this where it's like there's a bit of uncertainty and I'm not too familiar with this process, that's where, you know, your faith can kind of be tested. But I think it's just about like continue to have hope in what's going to come. So I know that I'm going to be fine. I know that I'm going to recover. I know that I'll be back on the court playing. So now that we have those things set in stone, it's about, all right, what can I do to get back playing at the same level, if not better? You know, what can I do to make sure that I take care of this injury, not let it become something that affects me long term? And the mindset part of it too, just trying to stay confident and stay in a positive mind frame. You know, that's what comes with sports, you know. You're gonna get injured, so. For one, I've learned not to overreact and overthink things. When I had a previous injury, I was so concerned about if I miss this much time, coaches are gonna think I'm damaged goods and I'm not gonna be the same coming back, or I just was so worried about missing time because that was my first one before. This time around, I understand I'm gonna be back, and I'm gonna be back and even better, so there's no need to overreact. The timing is a little tough, but I think it also just teaches me too not to feel sorry for myself. I'm not the only person ever to be injured, so it is what it is, right? Like, you get injured, you play sports, now it's just about the recovery, but it's the same attention to detail for me. In fact, I think you have even more attention to detail now because it's even more important to stay on top of your recovery, more important to make sure you're doing your physical therapy, more important that you're taking care of your body, not focusing so much on this one part of my body that I neglect everywhere else. So still taking care of everywhere else and just staying in a positive mind frame. You go and get injured, it's not something that you can necessarily avoid. You can do all the things right. I've been taking care of my body. I've been eating right. I've been doing all the right things, and I still got injured. It's sometimes just a sucky thing, like an unfortunate thing to go through. And I think it's just about how do you respond to that? How do you turn the page? How do you continue to see the light at the end of the tunnel? And yeah, go from there. Now for me, I'm just gonna keep training, do what I can, and yeah, I'll be back in whatever time God wants me to be back. So.